Hi Year 4 and welcome to today's Reading for Pleasure. Today we're going to read Foretelling the Future. So we're going to look at how the Romans used to tell what they thought was going to happen in the future. As we know, the senator was asking fortune tellers what would happen in Pompeii in the future, and they were saying it's going to be great, it's going to be the best place to live. Little did they know, not really telling the fortune, that Mount Vesuvius was going to erupt and destroy Pompeii. Okay, foretelling the future. Let's face it, who wouldn't like to know what the future holds in store? But with so many different ways of predicting the will of the gods, which one do you go for? All of the methods we currently use go in and out of fashion as much as the cut of your tunic. And all of them are so old we've forgotten why they work and even where they've come from. We've gone critical. Here at The Record, we thought it was about time we turned a critical eye on the prediction industry. So when businessman Bibulus Octicus wrote to us recently asking whether we should invest in the Armenian slave trade, we put our top divination techniques to the test. We've picked 5 of the most well-known and asked their practitioners whether the gods would look amiably on Bibulus's investment. Here's what they said, followed by what we think about it. Our verdict: there's a sucker born every minute. Watching the sky. 16 ancient sages in Rome called augurs peer at the sky. Then they make predictions based on the shapes of flocks of birds, clouds and lightning. This is the most ancient divination technique known to Romans. What they said to Bibulus. The conjuration of the dark thundercloud and the hooting of an owl in the east at sunset quite clearly suggests that the gods will visit an adverse foreign exchange rate on this business venture. Pros: venerable, respected, sanctioned by tradition. Cons: they could say anything, couldn't they? Palm reading. Some old lady looks at the line on your palm and makes predictions based on them. What she said to Bibulus. The broken lifeline in the Mount of Venus suggests you will soon be run over by a chariot while crossing the road and therefore will be unable to enjoy any adequate return on your investment. Pros: dramatic increase in road safety drill for Bibulus. Cons: reply limited only by palm readers' imagination. Animal innards. A special priest called an aruspex slits open a sacrificial animal and examines its liver. Then he makes predictions about the god's attitude to your special problem, according to whether the liver's the wrong shape or blotchy or the right shape and clear. He also pronounces on weeping statues and talking cows. What he says to Bibulus. Well, this oddly bulbous vein here is a clear indicator that the gods are partial to low returns on your immediate investment. However, the slightly purple tinge to the upper lobe of the liver does suggest that, with other market indicators taken into account, returns should be good within a decade. Pros: you and your family get to eat the sacrifice afterwards. Cons: messy, expensive, almost certainly unreliable. Reading the stars. An astrologer examines the position of the stars and makes predictions based on whether or not Aries is rising in Capricorn and what time of the night the moon comes up, etc., etc. What she says to Bibulus. You're a Virgo, aren't you? He isn't. I can tell by your stern and scrubbed appearance. Hey, loosen up, man. You need to do some tantric yoga. Your chart shows that Mercury is rising in the house of Aquarius, suggesting that the investment in the Armenian slave trade would be really far out. Pros: accept 3 beads and a daisy as payment. Cons: we wouldn't touch this method with a barge pole, and this stuff is really popular. We just can't believe anyone takes it seriously. And finally, the Sublime Books. These are a set of prophecies by the prophetess Sibyl, who lives in a cave near Naples around 750 BC. They're kept in the Temple of Apollo in Rome, and following authorization by the Senate, are consulted by seers at time of extreme national crisis. What they say to Bibulus: whether you should invest in the Armenian slave trade is not what we would consider an extreme national crisis. Now be off with you, and don't show your face here again. Pros: nice walk up to the temple. Cons: crotchety staff. No prediction. Next week, how throwing dice can really decide your future. Which do you think you would pick to tell your future?